Everybody, and welcome back to another malware video. Today we're going to be looking at more alleged Roblox hacks. These are more things that say they are Roblox hacks. I'm not convinced. I think these are going to be more. Because if we look at this person, we can probably tell that they were in fact a victim of an earlier version of this, where they themselves fell victim to some sort of... Because we got all these hack videos, which are probably all like, this is a Discord Nitro generator, and all of them are probably the same thing. You can see they're even going to the same file, which is how you should know this is not what it seems. Don't be fooled. Discord Nitro generator, checker, free download, Discord Nitro generator, hack by daylight. So if we go a bit further back, we can find more. They've all got these very interesting custom thumbnails that they have like a certain professional, but you know they're a scam look to them. And these... The ultimate result of these is that you will find, okay, these are probably this person's actual videos. PUBG Lite, and this is a Vietnamese channel, so they're not even English speaking, which tells you even more that this is not them uploading this stuff. So we go back, we see GTA 5 Online, Monopoly 5 mod menu, all of this. So what probably happened is one of these videos they themselves clicked because they thought it was legitimate, and they thought, you know what, I would actually like some GTA 5 Online hack or some whatever any of this stuff is. So you download it and you get a zip file that looks like this, and I think it's got a password of 123, so we can extract it. And immediately Windows Defender, even though this isn't even the latest version of Windows, finds mass logger. So Windows Defender is getting better, because in the last few videos we found that Windows Defender has been pretty much utterly useless at catching this. This Windows Defender seems to be a bit Trojan. Let's just allow it, because this is VM. Because people often ask, yes, all of these videos, I make them on VMs. I do not run them on physical hardware. I don't even run Windows on my host, so there's no practical way for these things to get out. I recommend if you are going to do this, you do not run Windows on your host system, because that will make it a lot harder. If the exe does manage to break out of the VM, it's going to run into a system that can't even run it. It's not smart enough to automatically whine, so we're going to try and restore this. Allow. If we have to, we can just disable real-time protection, because Windows Defender is not all that smart anyway, so it's always an option. There we go. So we've got an interesting icon. What does it say? Sirius, Git, Loto, GNU all language, so it's probably just stealing that from open source software. Labsoft Polish at gov.pl, so nothing coherent. It's got like a mixture of Chinese, yeah, this is just a load of rubbish. Nothing coherent, so we're going to run it. Once again, Microsoft has gotten their security a little more together. Anyway. What do we get? Some CPU utilization, some network activity. Interesting. Is this still running? Is this? No. No, probably. Oh, it is. Okay, where's it running from though? Because sometimes serious underscore. Okay, that's just a zip file. Sometimes it'll do things. It'll move itself somewhere that you wouldn't like it. One possible place it might decide it likes. That's just VMware, okay. Looks very weird. With names like store password, VMware dash. And okay. That's interesting. So Windows Defender has now found a different malware that has gone somewhere else. Let's just virus total on. See what virus total has to say about our file. "18 vendors. Hashtag malware. You would be correct. Although, yeah, so he's downvoted it. Yeah, it's setting up new files, registries. It's terminating. That's just Windows Media Player, so that's nothing particularly relevant. Now let's look at Jujubox, which tends to catch path. Okay. That's just doing more things. And it's not doing anything too creative for the registry. It's opening your files. .config version. I'm trying to see if it's... Oftentimes they'll find ways to persist. So where has this one installed itself? Ooh, just what I thought. So it sets itself up in your temp folder, and now if we go to scheduled tasks, we'll probably find some... Because that's a key part of how this stuff works. Okay. Where are we? Here we go. And we'll find it usually hanging out somewhere. User feed, synchronization. I have no idea if this is... When did this start? This could be something. Been hiding a couple of different places. There's a few ways it can perpetually run itself. I'm not sure. I will look, and you can also sometimes use auto runs to find... There's a good software for figuring out... Oh, it's apparently crashing. That's probably on newer versions of Windows. This is a good piece of software to find out where your malware might be. Right now, it keeps coming back, which it often will. Because go back to temp. I think we've purged everything in here. Here's an exe. You should never have an exe in your temp file. There's very, like, if for any app data folder, you can always delete something in temp if you're really concerned, so we're just going to do that. Now you've just got a couple of temps. Good place to look. Here is another place where stuff can hide. Going to set itself up in folders. Microsoft, CLR. If you see anything that doesn't belong, like an exe, that can be a bad sign. If you see something, an auto run that shouldn't be here, especially like random letters and numbers exes are never normal. There's not a good amount of reason for those to be about, especially if you've just clicked something like this. So I'm not finding any obvious... So let's just see what happens if we reboot. I'm going to cancel the... I'm going to disallow mass logger, and that will hopefully mean that if we reboot, and it does just bring itself back, as I fear it may try and do, it won't have the effect they're hoping for. It should just... Now we can go Defender. It's nice when Defender finally catches it, because it usually doesn't. Like, I've had enough cases where Windows Defender has just not caught it. Oh. Downloads.online. This is like a site that impersonates Mediafire. It was uploaded from Spain, but it wasn't. This is just a fake website. This is not Mediafire. Technically, it's not even saying that it is, but this is another that just goes to the same place. Windows Your OS. Oh, it'll even tell you that it's compatible with macOS and Linux, which it isn't. This file will not run. It's not cross-platform malware. They're not as smart as they would like you to believe. Hopefully it's gone. There might be remnants of it hiding out somewhere. But no exes in temp anymore. That's good. Nothing. That's good. So we're no longer finding malware anywhere on this system, which is good. Windows Defender wasn't disabled. I think we're pretty much done then, so that's good. So we've reached a point where Windows Defender is actually able to properly detect this variant, which should hopefully stop people from just running anything they think might be a CSGO or Roblox hack. Of course, they can just tell you it's going to be a false positive, and you probably will believe them because it's plausible. The idea of here we go, this go legit hack rage. No, it's badware risks. Okay, so uBlock knows this one is sketchy. Go file. So it's just going straight to some website. 1,000 people have unfortunately already downloaded this. So this form of spreading is unfortunately very effective. As much as you hate to think that, clearly it works, and that's why they do it, because they know that it works. immediately Windows Defender is hitting this and is telling you that this is contiban.aml. Let's just do allow on device because I want to see what happens. I want to go. I want to see what's going to happen. I think we have to download it again. Because this is a different variant of malware. It's not the same one. It has the same effect where what it'll do is it gets into your Google account. I guess it checks if you have one. And if you have a YouTube account, these things immediately in the background start uploading to your channel. Which is honestly really creative. It's like, the guy who first had this idea, after seeing the other YouTube channel stealers, it's password protected with 1, 2, 3, 4, figured out pretty well that he could. Let's just extract this. Looks like we've actually got a significant amount of stuff in this one. A injector. Okay. What's antivirus hitting us now with? It's always possible that this Ilerum Cheats is apparently the name of this. Is this I actually got his Patreon's nuked? Would just be. Okay, this is apparently being analyzed. Okay, someone's already analyzed this and it's already apparently been found to be suspicious. It's going to here. Let's see. The cheat doesn't stop the first time. Okay, yeah, no, this is clearly verdict malicious activity. Reads internet cache settings. Reads the cookies. Okay, no, this is quite a small type of stealer. It's connecting to a. Looks like stealing of credential data. So yeah, this one just steals. So it might actually want you to do that because it steals your CS:GO credentials. This might not be a YouTube spreader. Don't know. Okay, what is Mamson Alac? Let's see if we can get any sort of. That sounds like a possible, like it's probably some sort of stealer. Has a negative effect on your computer. Okay, Trojan downloader. It might download more stuff as well. Most of these websites are just complete bullshit. They're just sourcing off of some other website that says something. They're not actually doing any research. .NET zip. F12 frame. Sometimes you can find interesting things. Updated. Cheat updated. Okay. Just once again, let's just allow, or actually, we could even just turn off real-time protection because we're trying to get hacked anyways. Oh, no, don't allow. We want to allow. Because we want to run whatever very suspicious thing we think is probably malware. Oh. Whether it's already been purged. Could just be antivirus hitting you. It's a file in the zip folders apparently. Or the zip has also been purged. I don't think it can do that. Okay, let's just try running this one. Seems like that ran. Let's just try. Just do something stupid. Just turn off a core. So it's actually supporting, despite being a VM, it's already supporting some of that. So how do we... There is a way of turning off. Don't do any of this. I'm just trying to figure out if the protection is in fact what's making this. 0 kilobytes. Maybe we just have to download it again. Seems like somehow Defender is also now catching misleading, which is interesting. Appears to be a video ID watermark, which is interesting because that's... Okay, run anyways. Sort of curious if we're ever going to get a application that actually runs. Okay, this one's doing... It's actually using some RAM and seems to be doing what it... It's killed now. It's still here. Has it created copies anywhere? Yes. Not anything meaningful. It could actually just be from extracting a zip file. DBG. Suspicious. Also suspicious. But it could be unrelated. Suspicious, but unproven. Another place I have seen files hide out. Let's just unhide everything, because that makes it way easier to find potentially. Hidden stuff. Program data is another place where a lot of sketchy stuff will hide out. It's very hard. It's something that sometimes you don't check. It's also possible that the sample was VMware, so let's just upload this one to VirusTotal and see what they think about this. That's a 0 kilobyte one. Interesting. A lot of signs of problems. Now let's turn Windows Defender back on and just see if we've potentially... Oh, it's already turned real time back on. I think it does that automatically, like if... So we're going to quick scan just to see if anything has found. So people are doing what I'm doing, they're uploading it. That's good. Detection timestamp. Behavior. Detect, debug. Okay, this is the command and control server. Let's see if anything loads. Is that my? It might just be my IP, okay. That's fine, because I don't really care if they have that. IP addresses, like, people are scared of IP addresses, but IP addresses do not do anything. Like, unless you are, like, real-time, they have your current IP address, it does not do anything. People think IP address is the scariest thing ever, but it isn't. IPFI is probably just... Yeah, it's just an API to get your own... So this just pulls your own IP address. Okay, that's pretty harmless. Yeah. That looks utterly harmless. I don't really... But it's not like a legitimate thing for legitimate software to do, but it's not... Now they're hitting up Telegram, which is interesting, because there've been a couple of different ones. Oh, so it's creating temp files. That's... Here you go. Yep, this is Cookie Stealer. So this is exactly... I don't know if it's going to self-spread over YouTube, but this is a sign of a Cookie Stealer. It's killing... That's really interesting. Yeah, this one is definitely much... That's so weird. So it's... I can't imagine what it's... Okay, because we don't have any Wi-Fi on a VM, it doesn't do anything. But if you had Wi-Fi, that might do something, so that's interesting. It is VM aware, which is always a sign of sketchy malware. Detects, it does direct, that could be something. Checks network adapters, that's weird. But then the API.telegram is especially concerning because that's a common way that malware will communicate is over a Telegram bot, which seems weird, but it's pretty common. So nothing too interesting so far, just run-of-the-mill. This is another stealer. This one is a bit more sophisticated because it's not just taking, most of them just take your Chrome cookies from your default profile. This one also takes your Firefox cookies and possibly other browsers, because if it does Firefox, it probably does every major browser, so bit of an upgrade these guys are getting with their stealer. I'm sort of curious if that is in fact a YouTube. Could be. Nothing overly meaningful though. Okay. Because the thing is, that's fundamentally impossible for a watermark to be burned into a video because you don't know the video ID until you've already uploaded it. So that's impossible. The only thing that could possibly be is the result of some YouTube video downloading software that is watermarking videos with their original links, which seems like very undesirable behavior, but who knows, it's possible he was using some weird software to steal this video, which has clearly been downloaded and uploaded many times looking at the quality. This is just a 360p re-upload. There's probably a higher quality version of this somewhere. Possibly that URL and it just got taken down. Got performance boost. CSGO booster. So, yeah, it's the same thing as the injector.exe. He's got like a similar file URL. Maybe these are passwords? I don't even know. He clearly has re-uploaded these so many times. It's probably the malware itself that's doing some of that. Let's see. This is, I think, possibly different. These videos are probably stolen from people unrelated to the operator of this hacking ring, which is probably as well, this might be a fresh account. Usually they're stolen. This may be a fresh account, so that's one of the ways they initially propagate, and then they start to spread via these videos. And if they can get into a big enough channel, they can potentially reach an organic audience, because I've seen a couple of people on the YouTube forum who had tens of thousands of subscribers who had fallen for this, and that's terrible, because then their followers fall for it, and now these hackers, because they steal all your game credentials, if you have any game credentials, and they also steal all your browser. We assume they're just using this to self-replicate, but they could also be trying to get into serious stuff. They could be trying to get into banking, they could be hacking your PayPals, so it's important, if nothing else, to take security seriously. Be extremely cautious of anything you download, especially in Windows, because Windows is just terrible security-wise. People deny that, but it's true, like, especially because you're an admin account. Very easy. None of these programs required escalation. Very easy to escalate or just get whatever you want, which is from your user profile, and then all your data's gone. So be very careful with downloads. That's going to be all for this video. Bye.